Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Before I start, you might have noticed sometimes there's an icon up in the top corner. That's a link to the channel's Facebook page. On there you'll see work I do at, watch repairs I do at work. Also my university work for the horology course I'm studying. So anyway, let's talk about this watch. We have a Zodiac Super Seawolf, but more importantly, ceramic. And I think that makes this watch rather cool. Not only is it ceramic, but it's also a chronometer spec watch. Now, that's really cool, being that the retail price on this watch is £1,699 at Francis & Gay, but they also offer a 15% discount online. So you're talking this watch is under £1,450 for a Swiss-made movement, Swiss watch with history, ceramic, chronometer spec. I think that's a bit of a bargain. So anyway, before I get too far into the review, I've got to say a big thank you to Ryan and team over at Francis & Gay for allowing me to review this watch. Tons of stock. If you're in the Midlands, pop in. If you can't, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. So anyway, let's talk sizes. We're talking here a 41mm case size, 13.5mm thick. The look to look is a little bit long at 51mm, and the strap size is 20mm. So anyway, the dial. I think the dial looks great on this watch, because when I first picked it up, I thought the watch was actually a black dial, but it's only when I caught it in certain lights I then realised, actually no, it's blue. And I think it looks really cool, because you're always seeing a slight different hue to the colours on there. It makes it look more interesting. Also, you have applied hour markers here, and the applied hour markers give the dial a bit more depth, a little bit more of a premium look to it. You also have a different coloured minute track going around there. You possibly a little bit too much script for my liking here, but that's personal taste. I do like the Super Seawolf logo going on there with the logo and a Swiss made. I think that does look quite cool. Date window at 3 o'clock on a black background, which I think looks better than possibly a white one. If it was narrower, maybe you could have done a white one, then it would have mimicked one of the hour markers, but you know, it starts getting a bit complicated then. Bit of a strange one is the hands. You've got three complete different design of hands here. You've got a polished, a black gloss, and a white one. It is a bit strange, but I kind of like it. It's a bit weird. Now, when it comes to Lume, this is not shy in any regards. It's full of Lume. All these hour markers, minute track, second hand, the pip on the bezel, absolutely full of the stuff. It looks great, I think, for it. Now, one thing I should say is as we get out here, we've got a nice double dome sapphire crystal going on. There is AR coating, so every so often you can see like a slight blue hint to it there. That's the AR coating showing. Now, as you come past that, the bezel, let's have a listen to the action. Very, very snappy. Feels like a 120 click. Is there back play? Tiny little bit of back play. That's actually very sharp. That's nice. No problem at all. Does it line up? Is that it? Oh, I've gone slightly one too far. That'll irritate me all the way through a video if I leave it like that. Lines up perfectly. Now, the problem is with you guys, when you look at it on the camera, it doesn't look to be. If I move it over here so it's in line with the camera a bit more, you can see it lines up spot on. So there you are. Now, the insert, I believe, is sapphire. I'm not quite sure if the body of the actual bezel is sapphire. I think it could be, by the feel of it. It could be sapphire. I'm not 100% sure. Now, sapphire. Sorry, ceramic even. But yeah, you can purchase the bezel really easily. It's very tactile feel to it. No problems at all. But then you get the case here, and that is a bit of a star, being that it is ceramic. As you can see, one problem with it being ceramic, picks up your fingerprints no end. But the ceramic looks great. Now remember, ceramic is also lighter than steel. So it gives it I wouldn't say this watch is light in any way, shape or form, but it is lighter because of the body of the watch being in ceramic. Now, advantages of ceramic, it won't age, it won't rust, it shouldn't fade, the colour shouldn't fade in any way. It is very, very hard. Problems with ceramic, it's very, very hard. Now, what I mean by that is even though you shouldn't be, it should be pretty scratch resistant, it means it can be brittle. If you were to drop this from a great enough height, instead of denting steel as you normally would, and then you can get it polished or laser welded, whatever, this can shatter. So it can literally break something off. Now, the likelihood of that ever happening is pretty vague. It's pretty minimal, really. So I wouldn't worry about it, really. But it is rather cool. I should point out that Zodiac, I think, are only making 500 of these pieces, and they are fully hand assembled. So it's kind of a nice thing, I guess. Now, as we come round to the side here, the crown. Now, the crown, I just think it could be better. I'm not a big fan of the crown on this. Also, I find it is a screw down crown, but when you pull it out, quite often, as soon as you pull it out, it will go in date set mode instead of hand winding. A little bit of a pain, being that it is hand assembled. There is a chance the crown stem could have been cut too short. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, you still hand wind it, but it's a little bit fiddly. And how often will you be doing that? Not very anyway. So that's one thing to be aware of, at least with the unit I've got here. As we come round to the back, you can see we've got a solid case back here. Underneath this is a, what do they call it? The STP 1.11. Now, I put this on the time grapher, and to be fair, yeah, it lived up to its chronometer spec there. I think it was like pulling 2 seconds or something like that. So, but I would point out when I first got it, it was running a little tiny bit higher, and I did put it on demagnetize. I did demagnetize it, and it brought it down a second. So, it's just one of those things. I've got this. I did the same on Breitling's and a few other watches. It's just nothing to worry about again. Now, the actual movement is a 26 joule. They do say it's got 44 hours of power reserve. I'm not quite sure how they've done that. They might have slightly increased the barrel or thinned the wall of the mainspring barrel. Increased the size of the spring in the barrel, or they might have thinned the barrel. I'm not quite sure. But overall, it seems pretty solid. It is, after all, a copy of an ETA 2824 or an SW 200 Sleater. So, yeah. Shouldn't really have any problems. I have heard some horror stories with STP movements, but this one has been out for, I think it was originally released in 2012, and in 2020 it was modified. They did improve areas of it. I'm not quite sure what, but it was. So, hopefully there are no problems with it. And anyway, as we come past that, let's talk about this strap here. It is obviously a tropic style strap. Do I like it? Not really so much. It's an Italian tropic. It has got a very slight vanilla scent to it. I would like to see an ISO diver style strap on this. I think it would look much better. And also, actually fitting the pin buckle in would be easier as well, because I find this one a little bit awkward. It does have black hardware on the end there, 2 keepers. So overall, it looks great. Let me put it on my wrist so you can see how it looks. Quick wrist check, sorry. I'm wearing Oris 65 Diver. Bob, the Oris dress watch there. Artima, can never quite pronounce it right. Artima S, it's quite a cool watch. Now, my wrist size is 7¼ inches. Let me just put this on. I say it's that's it. Inverse time, there we go. That's it on my wrist. I think it looks great. Does really look quite cool, that watch, I think. And for the money, under £1,500, I think that's a real bargain of a watch. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it. And most importantly, stay safe out there. Bye.